So the interior opposite angles will be P and R. So according to this theorem, measure of angle PQS will be equal to measure of angle P plus measure of angle R. So this is the result of theorem number 6.8. So let us have exercise number 6.3, first question. It's given that for triangle PQR, QP and ray RQ are produced up to points S and T. So you can see here ray QP is produced till points S and ray RQ is produced till point T, such that the measure of this exterior angle RPS, or we can call it to be SPR, which is 135. Same way PQT or TQP is 110. The question is to find measure of angle R. Now this is quite easy, let me explain you orally. These two angles, angle PQT and angle PQR, are forming linear pair. So if this is 110, so this will be 180 minus 110, that is 70, angle sum property. Okay, so we shall write that much, and then same thing will be applicable here, and we will be able to find out measure of angle P. Once we get angle P and Q, we can find out angle R by angle sum property, that is theorem number 6.7. So you can see here, with the help of linear pair, I have obtained PQR as 70 and same way angle QPR as 45. Now by angle sum property. Keep in mind, angle QPR means angle P, angle PQR means angle Q, and angle PRQ means angle R. It's for triangle PQR. So QPR was 45 degree plus PQR was 70 degree by result number 1. And we are going to find out what is PRQ, right? So this will be 70 plus 45, 115 degree, which will be subtracted from 180 degree. So PRQ is equal to 180 minus 115, that is equal to 65 degree. See second question. This is triangle XYZ. Measure of angle X is given as 62. Measure of angle Y is 54. I won't proceed. We can get first the measure of angle Z, that is the third angle, by angle sum property. Then we will discuss about O. Okay. So same thing is been written here. By angle sum property, the sum of the measures of all three angles is 180 degree. So 62 plus 54, that is 116, plus Z, angle Z is 180 degree. So measure of angle Z will be equal to 180 degree minus 116 degree, which is equal to 64 degree. So this is the main first result. We have obtained all the three angles. Two were given, third we have obtained, right? So you got this angle as 64 degree. Now it is also given that ray YO, this is ray YO, and this second ray is ray ZO. These two rays are bisectors of angle Y and angle Z respectively. Now what do you mean by bisector? That means they divide angle Y as well as angle Z into two equal parts. So it is quite understood this 54 will be divided into 27 and 64 will be divided into 32. The question is to find out what is angle YOZ. So first of all, let us write about bisector. So I have written as rays YO and ZO bisect angle Y and Z respectively. So angle OYZ means this angle, right, is half of angle Y. Actually angle Y was 54. So half of 54 will be 27. And similarly for angle Z, yes, you can see similarly angle OZY will be half of angle Z, which is half of 64 is 32. I have drawn this triangle YOZ again so that you can understand. We have obtained right now OYZ was 27 and this angle 32 is OZY, means this angle is 32. The question is to find out the third angle YOZ. So that we can obtain by angle sum property. So I have written by angle sum property, the sum of the measure of three angles is 180. OZY, as we have seen here, is 32. OYZ we have obtained previously, that is 27, and YOZ will find 32 plus 27 is 59, will be subtracted from 180, and so your answer is 121 degree. Come to the next sum. You can see in the figure AB and AB and DE are parallel. Now this is most important thing before going to any of the angles. As AB is parallel to DE, so can I say angle BAC will make alternate pair with angle CED? Yes, and alternate pair on parallel lines will be always be congruent. So if this angle A is 35, so this angle E also will be 35. So let us write that much. Now we have angle CED as 35 because of alternate angles. Let us come to triangle CDE. One angle is 50 already given in the question itself, that is CDE is 53 degree, and second angle E, that means angle CED, we have obtained as 35 degree, right? So it will be total 88 degree. We can find out the third angle by again angle sum property. So I have written already angle DCE. So DCE which we are going to find. So angle DCE plus angle CDE which is equal to 53 degree, and same way plus CED. The CED we have right now obtained, that is 35 degree, which is equal to 180 degree. 53 plus 35 is 88. So angle DCE will be equal to 180 degree minus 88 degree, which is equal to 92 degree. So this is your final answer. Let's come to a new sum again. So as given in the figure, lines PQ and RS. So this one is line PQ, which is intersecting line RS at point T. So T is the point of intersection. Now angle PRT is given to be 40. So this is angle PRT. So this is 40 degree. RPT. So this is RPT, means this angle is 95 degree. This one is 40 and this is 95. Before coming to TSQ, we can find the third angle again by angle sum property. So 95 plus 40 will be 135. And when this 135 will be subtracted from 180, so you will be getting answer as 45 degree. So same thing I have written. In triangle PRT, the sum of measures of all three angles is 180. Putting the values of the two angles, we can find the third one, angle PTR, is 45 degree. Now by vertically opposite angle, we know that vertically opposite angles are congruent. We have learned in the first theorem. So this angle PTR and angle STQ will be same in measure. PTR we have obtained as 45 degree, and so we will get angle STQ is also 45 degree, right? Now you got in the second triangle STQ, this angle is 45 degree. Angle TSQ means this angle S will be 75 degree. The question is to find measure of angle Q. So again we can do it with the help of angle sum property. 45 degree plus 75 degree will be 120, and 180 minus 120 will be 60 degree. So our final answer will be 60 degree. Let us note it down now. So same thing I have written. In triangle STQ, the sum of the measures of all three angles is 180 by angle sum property, and then putting the values of whichever angles are given, we got measure of angle SQT is equal to 60 degree. So this is your final answer. Come to a new question. As shown in the figure, PQ and PS are perpendicular. Let us go step by step. PQ and PS are perpendicular, so this angle P will be 90 degree. So first of all, I'll write angle QPS will be 90 degree, right? Okay. After that, it's given PQ and SR are parallel. So PQ is parallel to SR. If I consider QR to be a transversal, so I'll get a Z shape over here. That means I'll be getting this angle PQR is alternate to angle PQRT, right? So we can write angle PQR is equal to angle QRT, as they are forming alternate pair of angles, right? Now one more thing, here we have S is lying in the interior of angle PQR. So this PQR can be rewritten as angle PQS plus angle SQR, right? Which is equal to right hand side will remain the same, QRT. Now this PQS means X and SQR means 28 degree. So it's given in the data. X plus 28 degree will be equal to measure of angle QRT, which is 65 degree. So we will get X is equal to 65 degree minus 28 degree, right? Which is equal to 37 degree. So we got the measure of X is equal to 37 degree. Once you get the value of X, you can just see triangle PQS. It is only triangle PQS in which angle P is 90, Q we got right now, which was X, that is 37 degree, and again by angle sum property you can find the value of Y. So I have mentioned in triangle PQS, angle PQS plus angle QPS plus angle PSQ is 180 degree, that is by angle sum property. Putting the values of PQS, which was X, so that is 37, QPS as 90, PSQ as shown in the figure it is Y, so that is equal to 180 degree. So Y will be equal to 180 minus 127 degree, which is equal to 53 degree, which is your final answer.